following is a presentation of Geekster Media.
Hey there, Wax Packers! Adam coming back at you with another edition of Wax Pack Flashback. Although maybe I should be calling you Crime Stoppers, because this time around we're opening up from 1990 Dick Tracy trading cards by Topps. Yes, I do have a full box here. This is a film that was licensed to the extreme, okay? It was coming out in the wake of Batman 1989, and we all know how big a deal that was. And by 1990, they kind of knew how to get the word out about a film. I mean, you would, of course, get the magazines, right? How about an issue of Comic Scene magazine? There's Warren Beatty. You could have a behind-the-scenes book, get all the making-of details. How about activity books, things like that. Of course, you got to have a Nintendo video game. And there was also a bunch of stuff, of course, you're going to get your home video release, right? But then you would have maybe a novelization. Yes, I have managed to collect so much Dick Tracy merchandise over the years just because it popped up everywhere. Whoop! Pop it up, hey? Just that shade of yellow, you could not escape it from 1990 to 1991. But then somebody like myself, who is often going to thrift stores and things like that everywhere I go, I'm finding Dick Tracy action figures. I'm finding, Big Boy, you got Prune Face, even there was references to Prune Face and Dick Tracy on The Simpsons, if you'll recall some of those jokes, little PVC figurines. Of course, what I was always after, what I was most fascinated by was the wrist radio, okay? Dick Tracy had a cool wrist radio. That was awesome, right? But they released all these weird versions. There was a tie-in with Captain Crunch, okay, where you could mail away for a wrist radio, but it was actually a radio, AM radio that you could listen to, FM too. You could get them both. Hey, we're not going to discriminate here against the radio formats, but that was very cool. But then also this weird thing. Okay, so you look at this, you're like, what is this? Okay, it's got pictures on the back, but when you open it up, inside, this was like a gift card almost that you could gift to somebody, but it was a watch of the wrist radio in there. So that was kind of neat. The strangest thing that I've ever found, though, this is the one where I had to own it because I was just like, this is bizarre. Yeah, this is a Dick Tracy, as you can see here, Crime Stoppers grooming set, okay? Calling Dick Tracy, yes indeed. So there's the list of the items that are in there. But the wrist watch here, the two-way wrist radio, was actually like a lip balm that you could put on. You had your comb, then you had Dick Tracy aftershave if you wanted to smell like Dick Tracy. So, like I say, so much fun. It was a film I enjoyed as a kid, even though I couldn't appreciate the cast and the amazing stars that are in that. Each year as I rewatch it, I'm just like, Al Pacino is amazing, possibly his finest role. Anyway, we got to get into opening up these cards. We have a few packs, so let's do it. Okay, so here we are with our pack of Dick Tracy trading cards by Topps from 1990. Now, if you look at this here, what's interesting is you'll see there are packs that are 16 glossy movie cards and then 8 glossy movie cards. So they did have larger packs, which I always found fascinating. I wish more card series would do that. If you just want to pay your 99 cents, I assume the other ones are probably 50 cents, right? But anyway, I just wanted to make that clear also that it's a more plasticky style there. But anyway, we have our 2 packs here. They also have the different art on the wax pack itself, which is very nice. Now on the back, it tells us that you could actually get the deluxe Dick Tracy set in a collector's box, okay? And then they had exclusive cards that were only available in the special collector's edition. So that's kind of neat there. Let's get into opening these up, though. We have a couple, so I figure I can spend some time with the world of Dick Tracy. But yeah, I had so many of these as a kid, and I have so many as an adult now. Like I said, I had a full box, so I have a full set. Let's start out just with these stickers, okay? These were awesome. Al Big Boy Caprice, Notorious Gangster. He was so over the top in this movie in the best way. Oh man, he entertained me to no end. Of course, you can assemble these to get a full kind of poster look of Dick Tracy. But let's see what scenes from the film they're going to point out to us. Okay, so here we are at the climax. We have Tracy's gamble where he's trying to outsmart Big Boy at the bridge, those gears and everything that's going on there. So, hands up, copper, snarls Big Boy. Oh man, it's so great. But I love the border on this and the two-way wrist radio playing and everything. They knew what was awesome about Dick Tracy. They knew what was going to get the kids' attention. Okay, so here we are with Prude Face. I don't know who that other guy is up there, actually. There's a lot of gangsters that actually go unnamed. You know, we know the ones that got the action figures that were the most popular, but let's see what this one tells us. The lords of gangland sit at Big Boy's table, suspicion in every eye. These felons include Prudeface, Johnny Ram, Texie Garcia, Ribs Maca, Spud Spaldoni, and several others. Their bodyguards line the walls of the room. So I know that James Caan was one of these guys as well. All right, here we go. Friend or gorgeous foe. Of course, the big pull of this, you know, for an older generation, it was Warren Beatty, but for the young kids, it was Madonna. We're like, Madonna in a movie? The Material Girl? But yeah, Breathless Mahoney, super sexy, right? And she was really playing the femme fatale to the hilt. All right. The other thing that's cool about this movie really was the design of the film. Now here you see this bullet-riddled car, but just that they really took you to this hyper-realized world, you know, of gangsters and everything, including the costumes and the sets and cars. But look at that, Dick Tracy at a desk. It makes you not feel so bad that the Dick Tracy action figure did not come with the yellow coat at all. You're like, okay, well, I guess he was without it in several scenes. But he's cool, he's tough, he's an honest cop and a timeless hero without peer. The name's Dick Tracy. Excitement, action, drama, you name it. This crime buster delivers it. All right, so here we're going to get another one of the gangsters here. The Rodent. Oh, the Rodent. Got that rat-like face there. But they'll give you a few details about him. Small, slippery, and silent, the Rodent is aptly named. The petty thief will steal from friend and foe alike and is an expert in avoiding traps set by the police. And here we have, speaking of traps, we got Flat Top with Tess Trueheart, who's fantastic. Let's see, last one here in this pack. Oh, here he is, the bribe. We have Big Boy, you stupid dick. He's trying to get him to actually agree, you know, to lay off. Lay off, just let him do business as he likes to do business. But of course, Tracy refuses and he gets rescued by who? Well, hopefully somebody we're going to find in this pack now. Man, just this iconic design as well. The graphics for this movie that you saw everywhere in those moments of its release was just something special. Honestly, that shade of yellow will be forever in my brain as Dick Tracy. Okay, so here we go with Prude Face now. Wanted for sabotage. No Beastie Boys need apply. Okay, let's see here. This is probably my favorite scene in the movie nowadays, which is, you know, Madonna, Breathless Mahoney, tried to practice her dance routine at the club, and Big Boy is there acting like he knows anything about show business, you know, telling her to tuck in her tummy, you know, stick out her tush, whatever, you know, like, he's doing the dance himself, trying to get all the dancers to understand what he wants, like, oh, it is fantastic. I want to see how they describe that scene real quick. Okay. So, the club writs after hours. New owner Big Boy rehearses the chorus line and tries singing with it. Suddenly, the front door is kicked open. Big Boy's eyes harden as he sees Dick Tracy herding Itchy and Flat Top into the room. Alright, now the thing that is cool about these cards, I do like that they give you like two scenes in one. It's almost like an action shot, you know? So here you go, poor Lips Manless as getting a cement shower. Definitely did not know about cement shoes or anything like that back in the day. I bet it was pretty crazy. Oh no, so this is later in the movie. This was when Bug Bailey, the guy who was up above Big Boy's Club, spills his coffee, and they notice it's dripping from the ceiling, and they follow it up there. Again, here you go, more of the car action, Flat Top's Revenge. Now there's a blast from below, lots of explosions, so many Tommy guns going off in this movie. Yep, speaking of Tommy guns, so they are back there, but there's Influence. Now, Influence always confused me because he kind of looks like Pruneface. Is he like son of Pruneface? But let's find out more about him. A grotesque gangster, Influence rarely uses violence against his foes. He'd rather hypnotize them or dig something damaging from their past in order to blackmail them. That is not what I get from Influence in the movie, but he doesn't really do much. Although in the novelization, the writer mixes in a lot of the lore from the comic strip itself. Didn't even mention that. You know it's based on a comic strip, right? Anyway, calling Dick Tracy, another iconic shot there, going into the two-way wrist radio. Let's see what they say about it. At the opera with Sweetheart Test True Heart, Dick Tracy receives an urgent message on his two-way wrist radio. He quickly makes his apologies and is off to the scene of the crime. All right. Speaking of the scene of the crime, what's going on here? We have Dick Tracy sneaking a peek, spying on the bad guys through the window. And there are the bad guys themselves. The games felons play. So I think this is the opening of the movie, right? Yeah. So in the seedy but quiet 7th Street garage, 5 hoodlums are playing stud poker. Their grotesque physical features reflect their names: Littleface, the Brow, Shoulders, Stooge, and the Rodent, who is dealing. You know what is unfortunate about this? 2 packs, we didn't get the kid anywhere. The kid is what it was all about. Oh well, let's see which of these is my favorite. All right, so as good as I remember, very familiar with those cards, but I always wished that there had been some type of chase cards. Like, I know the stickers. The stickers are awesome. That's what we all wanted, except for Steve the Tramp. I got so many Steve the Tramp. Hey, I just realized we also didn't see any cards with the blank. The blank is what it was all about. That was like the breakout character of the film, if you ask me, back in the day. But yeah, it just felt like they could have like had some sort of like special like motion card or something, you know, that would show the, or like behind the scenes, like the makeup with the characters, because that was a big deal at the time. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. We were happy to have as much Dick Tracy merchandise as we did, and we can find so much of it now. But as far as my favorite card in the set, Big Boy is ready to reveal it. What's it gonna be? Oh, okay, of course, it's going to be Big Boy at the club. If it's my favorite scene, it's going to be my favorite card. It's going to bring a smile to my face every time I see it and make me crack up. So thank you so much for checking out this episode. Be sure to stay subscribed here to the Retro Network YouTube channel, home of Geekster and Waxpack Flashback. We'll be back with more soon. Check you later.
This has been a presentation of Geekster Media.